This is a daunting moment in time, as the choices we make are impacting the future of human civilization. My name is Christopher Life, and this is Benjamin Ross, and we're speaking in behalf of One Nation, a network of citizens dedicated to uniting Americans and moving forward our global cooperation and coordination of our one human family on Earth. We are stepping forward to state in no unclear terms the seriousness and severity of the coronavirus pandemic. We have chosen to stop all other operations of our organization in order to dedicate all resources to mitigating this pandemic now.
This is a time in which our human family has the opportunity to come together. Realize that in the midst of this crisis, in the midst of the fragility of our existing systems, that what is truly strong are our connections between each other. That in moments of crisis, all that is not important is stripped away, and we are brought to the core of what it means to be human, alive on this planet.
We acknowledge that many of you are going through so much, from experiencing illness yourself to the pain of loved ones experiencing illness. In some of the most extreme situations here in the United States, of people not being able to have access to healthcare for coronavirus-related situations or other situations based upon the overwhelmed healthcare systems. We understand there's fear of deeper systemic collapse of our financial and economic systems. There could be concerns about security. And we are committed to rising above the fear of this crisis to provide the information and the inspiration and the resources that we can through the crisis to support you in rising above the despair of this crisis as well, tending to your needs, the needs of your loved ones, and actually helping to make the most that we possibly can out of this terrible situation.
First and foremost, in this moment, the most powerful thing that we can do as a community is to practice social distancing. We have the opportunity to stem this crisis.
When we look at the cases in Hubei, China, we realize that as soon as they enforced mandatory lockdown, the spread of the disease stopped. Now, for the next 15 days, cases were continuing to aggregate, but those were people that were already contracted with the disease prior to that point in time. When the disease moved into Italy, they were not instituting mandatory lockdown requirements, and the disease spread very quickly, all the way until their health systems became completely overwhelmed, and they had to choose who lived and who died based upon a limitation of ventilators, which was desperately needed by those with progressed cases of coronavirus. In different areas of China, Taiwan, and other cases of acting quickly with severe lockdown and social isolation measures, we're seeing already that the coronavirus impact is minimizing. However, in areas that are not going about self-imposed social isolation or government-mandated social isolation distancing, the disease is spreading, and it's spreading with a doubling effect, which means that every day that goes by, there's an exponential spread of the disease. Based upon how this disease progresses in an individual, for every person that's in the hospital and health system right now, who's symptomatic right now, there's 15 times that many people who are about to become symptomatic in the next 3 to 5 days. That is a very scary thought, to imagine the health systems in America that are already experiencing overwhelm, where they're going to be at 3 to 5 days from now. As Benjamin said, the primary thing we can do first and foremost to minimize and curb the spread is to determine today to participate in social isolating and take this extremely seriously. Next, it would be wise to anticipate that we might just be several days from mandatory lockdown scenarios and ensuring that you have the food and provisions you need for the next 30 to 90 days in the event of the worst case scenarios of lockdown or deeper systemic failure. We also are encouraging you to participate strict personal sanitization methods for your home, yourself, and those in your household. If you go out to procure items and provisions, be sure to take every precaution in that process, as well as sanitizing when you come home. And also, now is a moment in time to encourage others to socially isolate. This is not a moment in time to let other people just decide for themselves, but to bring our leadership and our voice and our encouragement forward through our phone calls with our loved ones and our social media presences and any other ways that you have the ability to bring your influence forward through your companies, your organizations, your networks. Now is the time to encourage everyone to participate earnestly in social distancing measures.
We know that this time is intense. We are all moving through feeling the weight and the magnitude of what is potentially on the horizon. And for that reason, we are committed as One Nation to bring forward all of the resources that you might need to maintain your mental, your physical, your emotional, your spiritual health over the course of the next 30 to 90 days. We want to make sure that even in the midst of going into social isolation, that we do not feel alone. Because the truth is that we are all connected. And our ability to realize our connectedness through this crisis is one of the potential benefits that we may experience amidst a massive loss and a massive amount of grief.
We named our organization One Nation, not only because of the vision of unifying our country, but actually speaking to the deeper truth that we always have and already are one nation.
Over the coming days, we encourage you to continue to check in with this channel for updates on resources that you might need. This is the first transmission in a series of transmissions that will continue every day until we come out on the other side of this crisis.
And so we've created the opportunity for you to stay in connection with us and the resources that we'll be creating and curating to share with you that we deem as the highest priority by texting the words "Rise Above" to 31996. If you text "Rise Above" to 31996 and press send, that will opt you in to our text message server that will enable you to receive our daily information and empowerment resources as we move through this crisis together.
The first step is making sure that you and your loved ones are safe. The next step in the journey is going to be understanding what is happening at a systemic level and what this crisis is actually revealing about our existing systems, and begin through this crisis to come together as one nation.
We will be challenged. We'll be challenged in our ability to stay mentally stable, in our ability to stay connected to our loved ones. We'll be challenged in how we relate to our children and our financial realities and limitations on food and resources. But all of these challenges have the opportunity to bring out our greatness. And we are inviting each of us to take this crisis as an invitation to rise above the fear and into the greatest expression of our individual power, our ability to create, and our sense of purpose and responsibility. And we want to be on this journey with you as we ourselves are figuring out and determining how we can rise above the fear in order to use this and every moment as an opportunity to create the world we want to create.
Together, we rise above as one nation.
See you tomorrow.